Chelsea today. The story, if people haven't seen it, I can put up on the screen here, actually. It came out today. And it says that the head coach, Enzo Maresca, cancelled a scheduled day off for senior players this week after they were beaten 3-0 by the club's under-21 team in a training exercise. It says Maresca made the decision after being disappointed with what he had seen during the drills. It wasn't a full 90-minute game, to be fair, but the first team and academy players were there, and the less experienced group came out on top with a 19-year-old McNeely scoring 2 goals. So, fuming manager, cancelled days off, slammed that performance. You've seen as well as I have, Don, Chelsea fans online losing their heads over this. What do you personally make of it?
I saw Spaces earlier regarding this, but I couldn't believe it.
You told us you have a better squad, and now you don't even have a better squad than the under 21.
What do I make of it, bro? I think it's funny. I'll be honest with you, bro. Honestly,
at least your future is secured. You know you have a good under 21 team. Congrats,
bro. I think it's a joke, innit? I think it's a fucking disgrace to be losing, to the kids in training. I don't know if these guys were just kind of, I don't know. I wasn't there, innit? I don't know if they were playing at walking pace and they just kind of undermined what these guys could do to them. But bro, it's embarrassing, innit? Let's be honest with you. You ain't gonna want to be losing to 16-year-olds and guys that are playing for the 21s, and you're getting what, 50K a week minimum, bro. You know what I'm saying? But end of the day, bro, the main thing for me is to make sure that these guys turned up the next day. They didn't have a day off, and they went again, because we've got a big game next week against Spurs at the Bridge, and we need to get back to winning ways, bro. Right? We've got everyone back now. Jackson's back, Lavia's back. Palmer and Madueke, they were spotted in training today. So I need to be seeing Chelsea playing how we were at the start of the season. You know what I'm saying? And then all of this.
Hang on, sorry. Is that an ice cream van?
Yeah.
Waste
no time around here, mate.
The sun's out.
Yeah,
you're sick.
You know what I'm saying, Terry? So, bro, if we play well against Spurs next week, yeah, because like the past few performances haven't been great. We see how much Jackson's been a miss. I know when he was there, he wasn't finishing chances, but we played better with this guy. We played better with the likes of Palmer. So with a fully fit squad, bro, we should be able to play how we was start of the season. Even I forgot about Fofana as well. He's back as well. So we win that game against Spurs, and it's convincing. Listen, these stories about training losses and that, no one's gonna be going back and forth about it. That's what we need to do. We just need to make sure that we win. But obviously, there's people that hate Maresca, people that hate the owners. So they're going to be doing think pieces about today. But to me, I saw it. I was like, oh, that's fucking embarrassing. And just kind of moved on and said, yeah, the real stuff is next week, bro. That's what I really care about. I'll be honest.
I'm just glad you guys are still in your banter era. I'll be honest. It's news like this that just makes me feel like, all right, I'm not alone here. Like, we still got some company,
Exactly. You know, it is. We see one thing about my club, bro. It's like keeping up with the Kardashians, bro. There's just always something. Every international break, there's always something. So when I see these things now these days, I'm honestly, I'm not surprised. It doesn't surprise me, bro. This club is just, there's always something going on at Chelsea, bro. Honestly.
Now, I want to hear Lawless speak about this, because there's no way Lawless is not going to take it. This is your chance to say something about Chelsea, and there's no way you're going to ignore it. I want to hear it.
Listen, no, I just think it's hilarious. Obviously, Don's going to say, right, we'll go back. You're lucky you're playing Spurs. You're lucky it's Spurs you've got, because I'd be very worried for Chelsea. I know you said you've got XYZ player back. I'm glad they're back, because the excuses stop here now. You've made a lot of excuses about you're missing this player, missing that player. That all stops. I think it's just...
Let's touch upon that. I don't like this phrase that people like.
Hang on. Let Lawless finish his point, then we'll go on to the excuses. We'll come back to the excuses. Sorry.
And I will get on to that, because I know where you're going to go, Don. But yeah, it speaks to a shockingly poor mentality, I think, that we see in that Chelsea team. I don't see any real leadership in that team. And I think that's a real problem. And in terms of excuses, when you put your team out there as having the best squad, or one of the best squads in the league, injuries should impact you less than other teams, because you have such a good squad. When you lose one player, you have another quality player to step in, right? So the fact that you guys fell off a cliff after a few injuries, which I compared to some other clubs, it hasn't been as bad. I think that exposes how weak your squad is, really and truly, Don. And the fact that you have to have all these pieces back, all these players back to not fall off a cliff. Because let's say if your form, say you'd lost them players earlier, Don, you'd be nowhere near top 4. So it speaks to the fact that you haven't got this.
That goes for most clubs, bro. If most clubs are missing their main players, they're gonna fall off as well.
Yeah, but most clubs don't have a good squad like you've done. Most clubs don't have as good a squad as Chelsea. So when your squad out there.
On the excuses thing, I get you've lost a lot of players. Where I think the excuses bit comes from, and I want to throw this to Lawless to clarify what I think he means before I go to you, Don. This run where you've only beaten teams that are below you in the form table, sort of Ipswich and the Southamptons and a couple of Wolves.
Yeah, we haven't beat Ipswich. We've got them.
Not Ipswich. You beat Leicester in the last.
Southampton.
Yeah, since the middle of December, you beat Southampton and Leicester, Wolves and West Ham, and in the last 14 games, they're all below you in the form table. Quite a lot of the matches at the beginning of that 14-game run, about at least 5 or 6 of them, the likes of Jackson, etc., were fit and available. So what a lot of people are saying is that the bad run didn't start when they got injured. The bad run started with them. So I suppose what people are saying is, and hopefully Lords can clarify, that the excuses stop now because those players are now coming back. Yeah. So surely you have to start winning now if them being missing was the problem.
No, of course, bro. And I've never once said, even last season, I kept telling you, Terry, right? Even with the injuries that we had, we still had enough to be winning more games. So I'm with Lawless on this one, bro. Like, even though it was missing Fofana and these guys, yes, we played better with them. That's not a debate for me. But we still had enough to be winning more games, right? During that period, Maresca wasn't really using the squad. You know, he still had guys like Jackson missing consistently. But the point that I'm making now is that the best Chelsea I've seen under Maresca has been when he's got Lavia fit, has been when he's got Fofana fit, Palmer fit, and all of these guys, because they help us counter-press, right? Fofana helps us play a high line. Lavia helps us defensively. So when I'm looking at these guys coming back, I'm like, okay, cool. We should now see the best version of Chelsea. Because when they're not there, yes, we have some good games. We can still win. But for me, you're not going to see the best of us without these guys, innit? That's how I kind of look at things.
Well,
you know what I mean?
This is it, Don. I think it just speaks to the fragility of your squad, right? And how shallow it is, because we're not saying about, you know what, yeah, you should have been, you know, turning over, flipping Arsenal and Liverpool. Like, you lost against Ipswich away. You know, you drop points against Everton. Like, there's so many teams there that you can't say like, oh, you can't expect us to win this game because we had injuries. No, you've spent, and I know this gets brought up a lot, but you spent £1 billion on your squad. You and Maresca should be expected to coach a team that can beat these.
I don't think I've heard any Chelsea fans say we lost those games because of injuries, bro. Like, I was cooking Maresca at that point, right? I was cooking this guy. I was cooking Jackson. I was cooking Bearman during that period. You know what I mean? So again, for me, injuries ain't it's not the reason why we've been losing, but it's a factor as to why we've slightly dropped off in terms of the best Chelsea and the Chelsea that you will see in after that period. That's all I'm saying.
So do you expect to see, like, with these players back, do you expect to see that Chelsea that we saw that was challenging for the league?
Bro, I hope so. You know, I hope so. I hope that's what I'm saying. I need a performance against Spurs, because when the players play well and the fans at the bridge can see the players are playing well, they're going to make more noise, right? It's going to be
if you lose to Spurs, sack Maresca. Just sack him.
But if we lose to Spurs, he needs security to leave the area. He's going to need security to leave the area because people want him out anyway. He needs to make sure he wins that game. Yeah? Spurs right now are on worse form than us. Even though we've been on terrible form, they've actually picked up, I think, 3 less points than us in our past 11 games or something like that, right? We need to wipe the floor with these guys and get back to winning ways and get more confidence into the team. You know what I'm saying? So I'm hoping Lawless, innit? He's got all his little pieces back. So again, I don't want to be making excuses for this guy or saying, oh, we need this guy back, we need that guy back. No, you've got these guys back now. So make sure you go on a run, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's nothing that Enzo can hide behind. Yeah.
He can't hide behind. Exactly. That's exactly it. He can't hide behind anything.
Is it at the bridge?
It's at the bridge, yeah. And Tower's right when he says this as well. When Fofana and Lavia got injured, bro, again, we didn't lose those games because of these guys, but that's legit when that run started. that run, bro. You know, defensively we're better. It's a fact that we're better with these two guys. You know what I'm
So
saying?
do you expect to see more out of Palmer now these players are back? Do you think that's had an impact on Palmer, or do you think it's just Palmer in isolation is playing poor?
Bro, it's hard to say, man, because even when we had Jackson available, Palmer was still making the wrong decision in so many situations. Palmer still wasn't being clinical, right? So again, it's just one of them ones where I need Jackson to bag to get over this drought. If he doesn't score against Spurs, that will be 10 games now. I think it is, Lawless, without bagging. You know, Palmer's been blanking for weeks, right? I know he's got GA, but 4 of his goals came up against Brighton. You know what I'm saying? There's been so many games this season, including the big games, where he's not been good. You know what I mean? So I feel like a lot of these players just need that one goal to go in, that one chance to be created, and it goes in. Then all of a sudden, you see Chelsea start to click again. Because confidence is a thing that people like to ignore in football, bro. A lot of these players right now aren't feeling confident. A lot of Chelsea players right now, bro, are hiding their comments on Insta because they're getting chefed. You know what I'm saying? They're getting cooked online by people, right? And I can see it on the pitch with a lot of these guys. So I need players to start taking risks. We have not got enough risk takers in this team. Yeah, Sancho too safe. Neto too safe. Right? Jackson takes risks, to be fair. Right? Whether you guys like it or not, Mudryk is to take risks as well, blood. You know what I mean? So boy, we need to make sure that we get back to winning ways, man.
Speaking of